And Gervonta Williams selling out Dignity Health Sports Park here to start episode 24. As it's a Rigoberto Grant versus Nicholas Bracken and Gervonta Williams versus Vishaka D. Milo. The Casper Ghost, Casper Patterson also fighting on this card. Michael Sosa, a very special young heavyweight, starting off his professional career against Abraham Martinez. Hopefully that ring IQ does not hold him back here in his young career. And Sosa goes to the body in the third round and gets the win over Abraham Martinez to start his pro career. Antonio Calderon here at strawweight, a strawweight from nation of Puerto Rico. Out of our new Puerto Rican gym, piling on the pressure here in round 4. Action-packed 6-rounder here. And it's a TKO in round 4 for Antonio Calderon. Zuski versus Kone. And it's a KO in round 3 for Zuski. I'm pretty sure every fight so far has ended in a round 3 TKO. Whoopsie, Lopez. Almost gets the round 1 stoppage. We'll tell him to look for the KO in round 2. Almost gets it. And we finally tire him out in round 8. Lopez piling on and gets the stoppage to improve to 7-0. Raymond Pena versus Arturo Vaca, 2 fighters with 21 wins in their career. Vaca, a very aggressive fighter, weak chin, doesn't take punishment particularly well. And Pena can absolutely dish it out. A great puncher, Raymond Pena. He's proven that so far in his career and proves it again here with a first-round KO of Arturo Vaca, 21-win fighter. Down real easy there in the first round for Raymond Pena. And Carlos Patterson versus Gabriel Nicolo. A power-punching threat for sure, Nicolo. Very aggressive. And didn't look very aggressive in that fight as the Casper Ghost weaves and bobs in and out. Like the wisp that he is. And Rigoberto Grant, before I can even get done singing the praises of Carlos Patterson, Rigoberto Grant has picked up a 24-punch first-round win over an equally dangerous puncher in Nicholas Bracken. And here comes Gervonta Williams looking to improve to 15-0 against a tough customer and a smart boxer in Bashaka DeMilo. Good first round for DeMilo. And a good second round for Williams, the world eater, continuing to march forward. And Bashaka DeMilo, not entirely sure what he's in there with right now. Gervonta Williams putting him through the 7 levels of hell. And Gervonta Williams continues to scare me senseless. And he shows off for the crowd of 27,000 there at Dignity Health Sports Park and improves to 15-0. My apologies, guys. I can't find the footage. I guess we didn't record. We did a showcase of boxing talent and got some nice wins for our young prospects. And we also scheduled some big fights, as you guys probably saw there. We have scheduled the super fight, Fred Morales versus Martin Castro. I did a whole breakdown, but I guess now it's not in the video. 31-0 with 28 knockouts versus 26-0 with 25 knockouts. We're going to have a shot with Randy Dale also to win a title in this episode before this fight. But this is our biggest fight of the entire save with one of our fighters so far. Andy Fitch versus Joe Hoon was really big. Seals versus Connolly was massive. This is bigger. This might be the 2 best fighters on the planet right now. That's probably a little bit of a stretch. It's definitely the 2 best super flyweights of the entire save going toe-to-toe. There hasn't been a better super flyweight in the save than Martin Castro, and Fred Morales is the best fighter we've ever had. Massive size advantage on the undersized Martin Castro. We're a better puncher, and we take punishment better. So I'm very encouraged for Fred Morales here to become a 3-belt world champion against a seemingly undefeatable Mexican fighter in Martin Castro. It's Mexico versus the USA. It's Fred Morales versus Martin Castro. This is going to be an absolute banger. This could be a war. This could be a first round knockout. It could be a snooze fest. I have no idea. Let's see. It's probably not going to be a snooze fest. All I know, these two guys have really never been in trouble. And that's something that makes it very interesting as we scroll down. God, I can't talk. The rest of the card. Gervonta Williams versus Tony Tovar, another guy who sort of came up around the same time as him out of the amateur ranks, who we thought about signing. Cottrell is going to fight Milo, who Williams just beat, of course. Edwards versus Costanzo is going to be an interesting ranked matchup in the super middleweight division, and Rice versus Munoz is going to be another ranked matchup in the super flyweight division as we look at the rest of the card there. And then Soto versus Patrick Filia is a fight card that I just sort of threw a bunch of our really good fighters on to get them some wins. And we can look down and see who is fighting on this card here. That is by far the least important card we have to deal with, as right now it's time for Randy Dale versus Alfredo Soria. And honestly, with how hard we've worked to win a belt, if this is our first title win, even though it is only going to be for one belt for the IBF World Middleweight title, it will be very, very sweet. This one belt will feel very, very good around our waist. Regardless, we have worked very, very hard to get to this point. And Steve Irvin versus Badu Cody is not a bad setup fight here on the undercard. So this is going to be a fun event. And let's level up. Let's level up Randy Dale if we can before this fight. And we're definitely going to go with ring IQ. Imagine if Randy Dale is our first champion. I said it many, many years ago. He's been in the middleweight division this whole time. Many, many in-game years ago. He's been in the middleweight division this entire time, putting together a fantastic career full of enthralling wins and knockouts, and he's been an incredibly talented fighter pretty much the entire time. And amidst a score of other middleweights in our stable, he's always stood out as that underrated, underappreciated guy, and I said quite a while ago, you guys watch, it could just be that Randy Dale could be our first world champion. Michael Brandino struggling here, Canadian prospect, and it's a third-round knockout. After a struggle in the first 2 rounds, he dusts himself off and gets a big KO there in round 3. And Jose Edwards, the veteran, fighting power-punching Cody Clark out of Tampa, Florida, and he better stop getting hit. As Jose Edwards still looking to prove himself in some rough form recently. It's not great from Edwards. Hey, we go to the body and get the knockout. Hey, Jose Edwards from New Jersey. Hey. Robert, I'm not Filipino Filipone. We will change his nickname to that one day. I'm from Chicago. Stop calling me Filipino. My name is just Filipone. It's Italian. You're all stupid. And there's a win for the Filipino man. The pride of the Philippines, Robert Filipone. The most famous boxer from the Philippines, Robert Filipone. Rico Hartman. Let's go. Dude, Rico Hartman is absolutely sick. What is wrong with you if you don't like Rico Hartman? This guy is automatic. His speed seriously makes him automatic. Let's just jab and move. Let's just bully this dude. Let's just bully this guy. Pile it on. Yes, sir. It's a dominant 10-round performance from Rico Hartman, who... Like, can we rank this man? Can we get this man a ranking in the super middleweight division? What a fighter. And Steve Irvin versus Badu Cody. This is going to be an event. Has Steve Irvin fought for a title? I know that Badu Cody has. That much is obvious. Need to do a little lore research in all these fights. No. He's fought for a North American title 3 times and has won 2 of those fights. Many very impressive wins or very impressive fighters for the unnerving one, but never a world title shot, and he may be a lot closer to it if he can knock out the respected veteran and definitely former title contender Badu Cody. Only 8 KOs for Cody. So this is hardly a fight where Irvin is in a big risk of getting knocked out. So we'll put a look for KO, and we almost get one. We are a much better puncher than Badu Cody, and I'm going to lean on that. I think we're going to plant our feet. That would be the best thing if we're a better puncher. Just stand in front of him and knock him around. It didn't quite work. He wins that round. We're going to box. Uh-oh, here comes Badu Cody. Let's go back to... No, let's just stay on natural style for one more round. I'm a little worried. Let's pile on pressure again. That didn't work either that well. Now I'm going to go to the body. I want to have the energy advantage. I'm willing to take the risk. Didn't work that well. This is a close fight. A little low tempo. Not a lot of power shots. We're going to pile on pressure again in the last round. And we take a lot of damage and we lose the fight. Mainly because of that last round. That was a bad last round for Frankie Edwards in that pile on pressure. And I think it's just a little bit of a strategy miscalculation. And it's a lot of weak rounds also. A lot of single volume rounds. Irvin kind of ran out of gas there. Weirdly, or at least he fought like he did. And it's a disappointing loss for Steve Irvin. And, you know, he's a very veteran fighter. Been around for a while. The 7 losses aren't great. The chin is cracked. The intelligence is low. He cuts really easy. I know it sounds like I'm going to cut him. He's got 4 fights left on his contract, so no, I'm not going to do that. But he might be a guy that we just don't re-sign, to be honest with you, because I don't really see the contender potential outside of his punching ability. I mean, great defense. There's just lots of holes. He's a great puncher with good defense, but pretty much everything else is flawed. Bad chin, bad conditioning, not that smart. The ring IQ doesn't make up for it. Low cut tendency. I mean, if the box office was high, his page might look a little better, but I'm just not a fan right now. I mean, I've been a fan for a long time. He's an entertaining fighter. He's got the ability to knock anybody out. I'm, of course, a fan in general of Steve Irvin and his body of work. But, I mean, he's been at super middle for a while. He's just so small for light heavyweight. He's only 26. He punches so big. His chin's already cracked, though. It says a weight change up would even affect his chin more negatively. I mean, maybe he could go down to middleweight. He'd be pretty big for middleweight. It might work. Just a desperation move, but the intelligence is so low. That's really the problem to me with Steve Irvin. He needs a rest before his next fight, though. I'm going to stop ranting, and we're going to get to the main event of the evening. This is a title fight. I got to do intros, maybe. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. His professional record stands 30 wins. 6 losses with 23 knockouts. Fighting out of New York, New York, USA, Randy Dale. And fighting out of the blue corner, he hails from Ituzaingó, Argentina, holding a professional record 27 wins with 5 defeats, with 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning, defending IBF middleweight champion of the world, Alfredo Silva. Alfredo Soria. The entire arena's booing. Boo, you called him the wrong name. You suck. Round 1. Randy Dale, big first round. Lots of damage. We're going to go on fast. We're going to the body right now. Make good on it. Power punch. Randy Dale is taking this dead serious. This is a title fight, and Randy Dale is stepping on the gas. This is closer than we have ever been. A minute left. He's taking some shots back. Dale connects heavily to the head with the jab. It's not going to be enough time. Man, I want to chase this and win it bad. We're not going to the body again. Nah, we're just natural style. Just natural style. Just natural style. We've got the advantage. We've got to be chasing a finish. He's got to have his instincts turned on. He catches a big counter shot there from Soria. We're still fighting a dangerous fighter. This is riveting stuff. Big round from there. Big shots from Dale. Can he chase the finish? He gets counterpunched. Man, he gets close to the finish. And it's a KO. It's a KO. Randy Dale lands a combination. He got counterpunched by Soria and rocked, and he didn't like it very much. Off the back foot, lands a big 1-2 and floors Soria, and the referee steps in and stops the fight, and Randy Dale is the IBF middleweight champion of the world. And new IBF middleweight champion of the world, Randy Dale. Blow out my voice box. Let's go. Our first belt of the save. It only took 24 episodes. It's only one belt, but I told you, it is just as sweet. A third round TKO, and you could feel from that explosive first round that Randy Dale was not messing around. And I predicted it about 15 episodes ago. Randy Dale is our first world champion. Let's go. Round of applause. You thought we were wasting our time playing Boxing Manager. You really thought I couldn't get it done, huh? A fighter from New York, of all things. A fighter from our hometown. Randy the Diamond Dale. Let's go. I'm giving you Dustin Poirier's nickname. That's how much I love you. Look at that little IBF strap. I love it. You can see him on this screen. Let's find Randy Dale. A middleweight champion of the world. I thought it was going to be Tony Seals, man. I can't believe it. We could do Dale versus Seals for a belt. But do I really want to do that? You know what? We can ask ourselves that question. Let's just enjoy it right now. There he is, Randy Dale, a world champion. And in 2 weeks' time, we can win another one with Martin Castro against Fred Morales in an absolute giga fight. Big rank ups from everybody, up 20 to 30 spots in every ranking up into the top 10. But a lot more notable, Randy Dale, now a top contender by every organization in the middleweight division in the IBF, middleweight champion of the world. And Michael O'Malley, the heavyweight, the current heavyweight champion, winning fighter of the year, and that's more like it, with 2 wins over James Ray. I have no doubt that's the right decision. And a classic split decision win over Nicholas Prieto. I'm a Michael O'Malley hater, like I've said. I think James Ray's downfall is a little understated. Don't even think he beat our guy. It's funny. Both things can be true. Michael O'Malley can be overrated, and he can also deserve Fighter of the Year because on paper, he's on this massive win streak. I mean, he beat Arturs Margianis. I mean, in hindsight, that's a super fight, right? I mean, you hold this fight today, and it's for every belt, right? These two guys have every belt. They fought to a majority decision all these years ago. They have every belt right now. And are they both scheduled? Are they both free? Is there no heavyweight title fight coming up? Just to be curious. I'd love for there to be a heavyweight unification. Margianis, neither of them have a fight scheduled, so it could happen. Be interesting to see. And I believe, yeah, Zhakupov versus Gomez is going to be on the same day as Castro versus. So you have 2 undefeated, undisputed super fights on the same day. Well, Castro isn't undisputed, but still. And Soria versus Fernando Moreno isn't a bad fight either. This is a super day for boxing fans. Look at all the action on this day. A 2-belt super lightweight world title, too. There's entirely too much boxing. And instead of unifying, he just fights Boban Petrovic because we all just want to be bored. He just found some random Eastern European undefeated guy and said, hey, you, instead of actually fighting the hardest opposition. And here we go. Zhakupov versus Gomez. This is going to be a long day of fights. Is this a rematch? Yes, it is. He took Gomez's 0. Oh, no, never mind. I am wrong. I read that wrong. He took Edgar Amperan's 0. That's correct. So he's going to have to take Amperan and, yeah. So Zhakupov can basically put himself into legend status forever. He's already an undisputed welterweight champion, and which is by far the strongest division we've had in this game ever so far. With Amperan, Gomez, Zhakupov. I'm not even going to get into how many fighters are undefeated and just ridiculously good in the welterweight division right now. But Zhakupov already knocked one of them out in Edgar Amperan. And now he's going to fight Gilberto Gomez. And we're starting to get kind of a 4 kings situation here. I mean, you could even argue Bolacan. I mean, we have 4 kings. You've got Bolacan, Zhakupov, Amperan, and Gomez. Those are the 4 kings of the welterweight division. There you go. So 2 of the 4 kings of the welterweight division meeting up here with Zhakupov and Gomez. I mean, you might not consider Zhakupov a king, but he'll certainly have a historical reputation if he beats Gomez and is able to knock off Amperan and Gomez back to back. Let me just do just a real quick lore check. Sorry to frustrate you guys. I want to see if Gomez has fought Amperan. No. So that would be the big super fight that has not happened yet. But let's see Zhakupov versus Gomez. Big round 2 from Gomez. Big round 3 from Gomez. Gomez is just beating up on Zhakupov. He wants to prove that he's not going to do to him what he did to Amperan, and that is an easy win. That was scary by Gilberto Gomez. When Gilberto Gomez gets his O taken, remember that fight. Remember how good he was. It's just like Yusupov getting to 49-0 when he blew it. You just like to think back to all those nights where he was dominant, where he did show up. Because that one night that Gomez doesn't show up one day where he loses that 0, we're going to look back on this performance because he just took Oleg Zhakupov to the cleaners. Oleg Zhakupov fought a war against Edgar Amperan, and maybe it's just a case of him having nothing left after that, but either way, Gomez took care of business in a way that's going to convince a lot of people that Zhakupov doesn't have nothing left. And let's take a look at Antonio Diaz, who's an insanely good super lightweight, who I'm pretty sure we tried to sign, but he wanted a manager with a championship reputation, and now he is a championship fighter. We have a championship reputation now, though. Hey, you want to sign with us now? As he's going to fight this 41-year-old Bandung Tanapino. Crazy that he's still in the game. Not much punch accuracy and not much takes punishment, so I don't have much hope, but he's going to have to land that big shot. He beat Harvey Davis, so let's see. Antonio Diaz might be a little bit of a tall task for Bandung here. But it's a good first round. And a good second round. Bandung Tanapino might be ahead in the fight here, but Diaz taking the lead. And it stops the fight. Tanapino really didn't have much to say. He sort of stayed in the fight, won a few rounds, but Diaz was always ahead and always in control. That was a very easy win there for Antonio Diaz. And we are going to get to our event now. And a little bit of the tension is taken off by the fact that we've already won a belt here in this episode. We finally have our first championship. Don't even know how long ago episode 1 came out now. Raul Williams. Bad first round there against an under 500 young fighter. Don't like to see that. Can Williams recover? Talented cruiserweight. He should be winning this fight. And there we go. He gets it done in round 5. Took him a minute. But he gets it done. Rice versus Munoz. And Max Rice gets the finish there. Tired him out there in the middle rounds and got the finish there in round 7. A strong round 6 and a strong round 7 for Max Rice. Corey Barboza against Stanis Otimbo. This should be a good fight. Barboza could catch one here. Barboza very small for a super welterweight, as we said, at only 5'3". Tiny for the weight, to be honest. He's like the size of a flyweight, and he's like 8 weight classes above that. It's kind of insane. But man, he's like a bull in a china shop. He just gets in there and works. And fantastic stuff on go to the body. Big shock. Barboza getting in the gut and beating up Stanis Otimbo because he doesn't really have another choice at that height. And now Frankie Edwards against Marco Costanzo. Can Frankie Edwards recover from a loss? It's always a classic, it seems like, with Frankie Edwards. And we're going to pile on pressure here in round 3. And let's just initiate a little craziness. Let's go for KO as well. I just feel like causing a little havoc. That's what Frankie Edwards always does. Now we got to go to the body to make up the deficit, unfortunately. We'll go to the body for one more round. Doesn't quite work. We'll head back to natural style. And it's a knockdown for Frankie Edwards. That does happen sometimes. If you stay off natural style and go back to natural style, you can get rewarded for it. And now I feel like we have no choice but to pile on pressure here with not much time left. And we're going to just go for broke here in the last round and see what happens. This is going to be a tough fight to score. Really tough fight to score. We lose by a round on the first scorecard, and we lose the fight very narrowly to Marco Costanzo there. Yeah, it was just a basic matter of punch volume. It sucks to lose with a knockdown, but he even got the knockdown in a round where he didn't provide any volume. He didn't throw a lot of punches from round 5 on. So I have a right to be a little disappointed in Frankie Edwards there. And let's see if Ricardo Castro can take care of Bashaka Tamilo. Doesn't look like it right now. Bashaka Tamilo didn't like losing to Trevano Williams. Wants to prove that he's a little better than Ricardo Castro. We get a knockdown counterpunching. Tamilo gets back up, and we're probably still losing the fight. We jab and move, and we've just got to keep covering up here and keep him off us. We're going to look for a KO in this round, and we do some damage. We're just trying to keep Tamilo from knocking us out at this point. He's done really significant damage for the entire fight. We get 2 knockdowns in that round, and that should make the scoring a lot closer. But Milo landed 24 punches to our 2 knockdowns, so he made us pay for those knockdowns, definitely. And this feels like a go for broke last round, and we're gonna put it on fast because this has been a classic here for the heavyweights. Another very entertaining Ricardo Cottrell fight. And he's got him damaged. He's chasing the finish. He's got 10% more to get. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. He gets wobbled and damaged. Now Milo chasing the finish. This is going to be a tough fight to score. 96-90. 96-90 and 96-90. They're all in agreement. Unanimous decision for Ricardo Cottrell in a very hard-fought tilt. And speaking of Gervonta Williams against Tony Tovar, this could be a tough test here. Tony Tovar, an accurate puncher. And he's landed big power punches on Williams, who lands an uppercut to start. And yeah, it's a bad first round here from Williams. Tovar finding a home with the accuracy punching. And I am going to tell Williams to jab and freaking move here. I'm going to put this on fastest, as I do not want Gervonta Williams to be in any trouble, and he is right now against Tony Tovar. As we're just going to go to the body. Screw it, man. We get hit hard, but not hard enough. We're going to cover up again. And now we got him a little more tired, and that's not a good place to be against Gervonta Williams. Uh-oh, man. He really is just winning this fight, huh? Tony Tovar with the punch accuracy, just bringing it to us. And I think with 1%, we're just going to look for KO with all this punch power from Gervonta Williams. We're just going to have to look for a knockout here. Probably for the rest of the fight. We get a knockdown. See, it worked. And let's go for broke. I'm going to go for broke. Let's see. I mean, we're both at 0%. I am going to look for KO. We got to try to get a knockout. We get a knockdown and he gets up. Well, the 2 knockdowns score the fight, and they do. The 2 knockdowns, and Gervonta Williams with only 9 power punches getting dominated in pretty much every round somehow. I guess by virtue of being undefeated and all those knockdowns, we put it on look for KO. Steals, absolutely steals a split decision win to improve to 16-0. Thank you, hometown refs. I definitely did not pay that ref off. Wow. Another controversial decision, a beneficial controversial decision, and there's going to be a few people in the know to whom Gervonta Williams is no longer undefeated. And before we can even look up another one of our undefeated fighters, albeit an undefeated fighter who's been bailed out of a loss in the past, in Brian Mitchell, somebody who a lot of people may also not think is truly undefeated. Action-packed. Whoa. It looked like DeLuke landed about 20 punches in 2 seconds there at the end of that round. Crazy end of the round there, as Mitchell takes that round cleanly. And he looks really good right now on natural style. We'll go one more round and let him pile on. Here we go. Now Brian Mitchell should be able to get his 18th consecutive finish to start his professional career. He doesn't, but he is going to get a unanimous decision win. So it's 2 straight close fights for Brian Mitchell, but it's 2 wins for Brian Mitchell. And it is time for the super fight. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the sold-out Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Let's get ready to rumble. Ding, 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 ding. Dude, is that Michael Buffer? Did he actually get Michael Buffer for his YouTube channel? Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, representing Palm Coast, Florida, USA. His professional record, 31 wins, 0 defeats, with 28 wins coming by knockout. He is the undefeated sensation, Fred the Florida Man Morales. And introducing to you now, fighting out of the blue corner, hailing from Monterrey, Mexico, the undefeated, undisputed scourge of the super flyweight division. His professional record, a perfect one. 26 wins with 0 defeats, 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing to you the Champ Magazine, IBF, WBO, Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Martin Castro. And man, oh man, am I ready for this fight. I have been ready for this fight for a minute. The stats, the attributes speak for themselves. Will it be the punch power and the punishment taking of Fred Morales, or the IQ and the slick defense and aggression of Martin Castro? This is going to be one of the best fights of the save. It is hard to imagine either two of these men in any kind of trouble. I'm sure one of them will be before the final bell sounds. It's the first punches from Morales and the first power punches from Castro. Morales connecting with a jab. He gets Castro against the ropes. Castro likes it against the ropes. Big counter punches, big power punches. And that is a tough, tough first round to score. Morales got Castro off the ropes, but Castro did the better work. And you know what? I just might score this thing live. I can't even lie. I'm going to score that first round 10-9. I'm actually going to score this. So I got Martin Castro in round 1 there. You guys can score along at home. Round 2. A good start for Castro again. Morales taking some punishment, and there's a knockdown. I don't know what Fred's doing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, nope. There was no 10. I jumped the gun. I was ready for it to be over, but it's probably about to be over. Castro just can't handle. Sorry, Morales just can't handle what Castro's throwing at him. This fight's over. And Fred Morales. Martin Castro proving every bit of his class. Fred Morales never really got started there. And, yeah, that's going to be a 1 on Fred Morales' record. And there's not really going to be much else to say. I don't think he gets a rematch. He's going to have to work his way back to a rematch after that. That was just an impressive performance by Martin Castro, storming into Fred Morales' building in Florida and putting the Florida man away. And, yeah, I never really had a chance to do anything there. Castro just overwhelmed us with the aggression. Massive round there. A knockdown into knockout. And not much Fred Morales can even do. We never even got to take it off of a natural style. And, disappointing to lose Fred Morales' record, but we went out on a limb. We never really got to fall back on jab and move, which is what really made me pick that fight, was that I was going to have that option as the taller fighter, and I never got to pick that option because we got knocked out in the second round. But Martin Castro proved that he is a really hellacious fighter, and yeah, a force to be reckoned with, to be honest, in the super flyweight division, and somebody that you will have to reckon with in this division at some point. And hopefully Martin Castro can grab these easier belts off this other super flyweight champion, or just this lineage, and then unified later down the line. It's far from over for the Florida man. His chin isn't really cracked. His chin's down to a 17, is on the canvas as an 18. Oh no. I'm surprised he even got up off the canvas after that shot from Castro. Martin Castro is really a tremendous fighter. And Randy Dale is now our most popular fighter. Unsurprisingly, at 2 million fans. And this is the Randy Dale episode, man. Martin Castro and Fred Morales could have put on a show for us there, but unfortunately Fred just gets himself KO'd, and Randy Dale's tremendous effort there against Alfredo Soria was the highlight of the episode, and our first world title does in fact belong to Randy Dale of New York, New York, the new IBF middleweight champion of the world. So a round of applause for Randy Dale, and that was a very fun episode of Boxing Manager. We will see you on the next one. We have our first world champion at long last.